talk about things life, love, spirituality, love, attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I have a guest star with me today. This is Sweet Henry, the dog that I'm dog sitting for 6 weeks. He's so cute. Every time I film, he normally sits below me, but as I started to film this one, he hopped up in the chair next to me. I think he's missing his mama. So we're going to give him a little extra love. Yeah, as soon as I said that. He's such a good boy. But we are here because we are going to talk about your manifestations and how you can expedite them through the inner work. So I run mentorships for women. I do group coaching. I do one-to-one calls. I do intuitive readings. And I find myself repeating the same thing over and over again, and it works. So what comes through on the call is the client will tell me what their reality is showing them. And then I reflect back to them and say, okay, this is something that unfortunately we have created. You know, whatever your reality is showing you right now is something that you have created. It's something that your old belief system has manifested right now in this moment. So we have to first surrender to that, and we have to let it go, and we have to forgive ourselves and find compassion of why we were in that mind space before. And what happens on these calls is we will begin to talk about, why do you think that was created? Why do you think you allowed this treatment? Or why do you think your bank account is so low? Like, what is the deeper root here? And then we go back to their childhood from 0 to 7. And then we look at the patterns that they developed from their parents. So for instance, for me, my dad was very secretive about money. He had a great job. We had a family business. We still have it. Even after he passed, my brother and my cousin took it over, and my pop created it after World War II. And I admire that so much that he started his own business. And it is amazing. It's thriving. And my dad then, took it over after my pop passed. Him and his brother took it over. And so my dad was very protective of the business. He didn't want anything to harm it because that's how much he valued it, because my pop created it and he didn't want to be the one to mess it up. So my dad was always very frugal. He wore the same New Balance sneakers his entire life. He had little holes in the pinky part of his sneakers. He was very modest. We always joke that he only went to 2 stores his whole life, and it was 7-Eleven and Wawa. He would go, unfortunately, he was a smoker, so he would go and get his cigarettes and a drink. But he was very short, I guess not short, but just very tight with his money. And my mom was the opposite. My mom was like, let's have fun. Let's have good experiences. Let's buy beautiful things. So I realized that at a very, very young age, I learned that my program is that money isn't something we talk about. Money is, it just felt like shame for some reason because it wasn't talked about. Shame usually gets hidden deep into our sacral chakra and our solar plexus. So I always carried shame around money. So I always manifested shameful situations around money. And when I talk to my clients, I try to get them to see a similar dynamic for themselves. It might not be the same. But then they have this moment, right? They have this aha moment where, oh my gosh, I am manifesting these shame moments because I witnessed it from my parents. I was told to hide, or it wasn't safe to talk about. And it could be anything, not just money. But once they get to the aha moment, everything shifts. They start to realize, oh my gosh, I can change this. I don't need to feel ashamed of this anymore. And I often teach them you have a jar in front of you, and you're going to take the shame, put it in the jar, put the lid on, and send it back to the universe and say, I learned this lesson. Thank you. I don't need to continue to attract more shameful situations because I learned the lesson and I sent it back out. My consciousness no longer needs that. I'm not carrying the weight, right? A lot of people say, the spiritual teachers say, we enter this lifetime with a backpack on our back. And each experience, we're putting things in our backpack to then unpack later. So that's something that you are taking out of your backpack and you're sending it back. You're saying, thank you for the lesson. It's almost like giving back a textbook. You're like, I got it. And once you take that out of your backpack, your nervous system is different now. Now it's just a matter of time before you put new feelings, a new textbook in that's filled with possibility, that's filled with a limitless energy, that you are unstoppable. There's no cap to what you can do. There's no cap to the amount of money that you can hold because you don't have to be hiding it anymore. You don't have to fear doing something to harm it. My dad possibly had this fear of messing up the business, and then being shameful about it. So I have to release my shame about being successful, release my fear of being successful and realizing it's okay if I fall. It's okay if I mess up. But why am I even going to think that? What if it goes well? What if I do something amazing and I grow it? What if it's better than I could have expected? And I believe that's what my dad did. I think my dad took that business and he made it better, but he wasn't free in the process. He was still holding on and worried every time tax time came around. And he was very stressed around the end of the month and all the different markers that he had to hit. So me realizing that I witnessed my protector, my masculine energy in my life living in fear. And I wasn't aware of it back then. But now I can see it, and I can see it in my nervous system. So I'm packaging it up and sending it back out and going, that's not my experience. My experience is going to be free flowing. It's going to be limitless. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to expand the limitation, and I'm going to raise the ceiling on what it is I can do. So I want you to think about, if you were on a client call with me and I was poking you with these questions about, well, tell me about your childhood, tell me about your parents' beliefs around money or around relationship or whatever it is, I want you to get to the root of what is the pattern in you that you inherited from your parents, and how can you package it back up, send it out, take it out of your backpack, feel lighter, and then bring in new information, a new what if scenario of how good it could be. And say, I am done hiding. I am done suffering. I'm done with the shame. Thank you, shame, for teaching me what I don't want to feel. And I send you back with love. And you're sending that jar back, or you're sending that textbook back with love. Thank you for this lesson. I passed the exam. I'm done. Now my backpack is lighter, and now I can go experience something nobody in my family ever experienced, which could be a healthy relationship. It could be an abundant business. It could just be you having a really, really healthy body and not having the same health issues as your family. So you are so capable of creating this change for you. You're meant to be different, and you're here watching this because you don't want to suffer. You don't want to continue the same patterns as your family members. And until we get to the root, we won't be able to take that stuff out of the backpack. We won't be able to send it back if we don't know what we're sending back. So we have to get to the root. So if you need help, my mentorship is open. I do one-to-one coaching. I do one-to-one readings. You can hit the link in the comments. I'd be happy to sit with you and help you uncover what your blockage is. We all have them. We all have blockages, whether you know it or not. And going back to the beginning of this video, when I was talking about me sitting on my client calls and getting to the root, shit you not, you guys, at the end of every call, my client is saying, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I had that in me. Or I wasn't even aware of that. I can't believe I had that limitation, and I've been sitting on it for so long and I didn't know. And that's the beauty of working with a coach, a healer, or a guide, whether it's in your community, whether it's with me or somebody else. They can help you sort through all the muck and figure out what is it? What is that thing that you're scared to do? What is the thing that is blocking you from receiving? We're here to have an abundant life. We're here to receive all that we can receive, whether it's love, money, joy, peace, offering healings to people. But there's something inside of us that is scared to do it. Fear lives behind all of this. So if we can uncover where the fear came from, we can bottle it up and send it back, because we learned the lesson. It's not our fear to take. We inherited it from somebody else, and it's not ours anymore. So you're choosing to say, this is not mine. I don't need this lesson. I am whole, I am sovereign, I am happy, and I am ready to create a new reality without the fear. So I hope this video hit your heart. I hope you're going to the root and figuring out what it is that's blocking you, because once you send it back, you're going to open up so much space for you to plant new seeds of the new you, the new self-concept, the person who has the thing. And all of a sudden, you're not going to be scared anymore. You're going to feel supported. You're going to feel awake and aware. You're going to feel like you can do it. And it's not going to be as scary as your mind is telling you it is. It's just a story in your mind. You're not carrying the story anymore. All right, lovies, Henry and I are sending you so much love, right, Hen? Say goodbye to our family. Say bye. He's getting groomed tomorrow, so don't mind his hair. um, but we're sending you so much love. Again, if you guys want to do a session with me, everything's in the comments. I really hope this works for you. I do not want anybody else staying stuck in a pattern where they feel like their life will never change and they keep attracting chaos. And we have to get honest with ourselves and forgive the part of us that did attract it because we were carrying the backpack and now we're not. We're taking those things out. So now we're different. So we have to receive different. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for supporting me, my daughter, and Henry, and our channel. And we hope you have a fabulous day. All right, peace out.